All right, so this sucks because I just did this list and the audio quality was absolutely horrible, so I'm redoing it. So that was a waste of 15, 20 minutes. Anyway, I'm just going to jump right into the list this time instead of a big intro. You know, the Devil May Cry series is pretty long with 6 games now. I decided let's rank them all in tier style because, well, why not? So let's begin with number 1, which is Devil May Cry 1, which still holds up to this day. I played this about a year ago and I still enjoy it. Now, it is definitely outdated in some ways. It's older. The level design is something else at points. And I definitely think it's a very, very short game. You can beat it in about 5 hours. And the voice acting is amazing.
Should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light.
But yeah, it's still really fun. The combat just remains this simple yet very effective and fast style combat that you don't always get. And I know that sounds crazy nowadays, but even nowadays you don't get that in action games. I also think it was a foundation to action games in a lot of ways, and with it being one of the first, if not first action game for PS2, are we really going to count the Bouncer? I don't think so. Devil May Cry still holds up really well. It is absolutely one of my favorite action games of that era. So doing that, I'm going to put in a devilishly good time. Woohoo! So Devil May Cry 2 is, when I was a child, I bought this game with my own money that I got on my birthday. And holy cocoa melons. This game sucks a big, fat cock. I just dislike this game in almost every way. I think that they completely destroyed the character of Dante. I think his look is really bad. I also think the ending to this game is so stupid. Thank God we kind of just added in a little bit in other games, but don't really talk about it. I also really, really hated the level design in this game. That's probably the worst part of this game. The levels are so boring. The combat isn't fun. The moves take too long to do anything. That is a problem in an action game. So to say that I dislike this game is putting it very, very mildly. I hate this game. This game almost killed the franchise. You can ask anybody during that time period I was playing video games. Nobody thought they'd make a 3 because this was so fucking bad. So yeah, Devil May Cry 2, you are in the what the fuck happened here? On the flip side, Devil May Cry 3 came out, and people were just like, whoa, this game is good. And you are goddamn right. This game is lovely. I mean, yes, it's cheesy, it's corny, it's dumb, it's over the top, and that is all working for its favor. On top of that, you get a lot of Virgil. Now, Virgil is now a fan favorite. Everybody loves him. He has the silver hair, slick back. He's a sexy man. What's up, Virgil? But the combat is really what made this game. You have the different playstyles for Dante that all just bounce off of each other really well, and you can just flip between them. I think the best part about Dante in this game is that he's fun, he's charismatic, he's everything that you like in the first game, but better. Combat, better. Level design, fantastic. Boss battles, both tough and entertaining. Really, this game is almost flawless, as long as you can take the cheesiness with the story. I absolutely love this game. I think it's a little long at points, but it works really well for what it was trying to do and revive the series after this game. So saying that, that is going into A Devil Always Cries, because it's a play on words, you get it? Devil May Cry 4, though, it had Nero, which, don't get me wrong, I think Nero's a cool character. He's interesting. He had a different playstyle where he grabs you, brings you in, and then you slash and stuff. Pretty cool, but it didn't really do much for the gameplay and elevating it to make it way different than the other games or that fun. I also don't really like a lot of the sidecasts. Like, I like Nero, I like Dante in here, but I thought that Trish and everybody else was underutilized and not all that interesting. And also, if you ask me what the story was, I don't really remember it that well because I wasn't that interested in seeing what would happen by the end of this game. Saying that, it's still a solid, fun action game. I think it works well enough that I enjoy it. I've played it a couple of times, and it still sticks in my mind as a good action game. So for that, I'm going to put in a Demi Demon. I don't think it's quite as good as Devil May Cry, or especially not Devil May Cry 3, but it's a decent game. So DMC is the controversial game, the one that just made people go absolutely bonkers online. And I think a lot of that is how they promoted this game and kind of saying, if you like the old Dante, you're stupid. And I think that's just not the best way to approach it. You know, Nero was new. But they also had the old Dante to be like, hey, what's up? And Nero looked just like Dante, so who gave a shit, right? Whereas DMC, they had a totally different hair. He was black hair, he was skinnier, he was more punkish, more, I don't know, Nirvana. And people just did not take a liking to this guy. They made memes about him. They said he was a crackhead, whatever they wanted to say. I personally like this game. I think that the story is interesting. I think it's a much more serious tone, and I think it actually nailed the voice acting better than any of the other games. I really enjoyed that aspect of the game. As far as the gameplay, I don't think it's quite as fun as 3 or maybe another game I'm about to mention, but I still enjoyed it. I think a lot of it was the color coding thing. I didn't love, like, you had to use a certain weapon or a certain style to, you know, defeat a certain enemy of a certain color or whatever. But other games have done that, and it's not like a game-breaking thing, but it did get annoying in the halfway point. However, I still enjoy this game. I think Dante in this game is an interesting character, or interesting take, and I also really like Virgil in this game. He was brutal, mean, and a son of a bitch that I wanted to kill. So all of that worked really well for me. Would I say it's the greatest game? Nope, but I did have a pretty good time with it. I would say even a devilishly good time. It's not as good as 1 in terms of what 1 did for the entire genre, but I will say that I think it belongs right behind it as a good time, especially if you're just into it for an action game. And we're going to save the best for the last. See, Devil May Cry 5, I never thought was coming out. You know, there was a long break between this and DMC, and nobody really was like, you know, thinking we were going to get another game, or if you did, I didn't really, I don't know where I was going with that. But my point is, I wasn't really looking forward to it. And I don't know why, I guess just because it's been so long, but thank God that I gave this game a try. So I put it in, and I was blown away how much fun I was having right from the start. I was in it to win it. Stop saying stupid catchphrases. Stop. Just stop. I'm looking at you on the video. Stop. But yeah, I really just enjoyed this game. I thought the combat was excellent. They gave Nero a really cool idea where he could try different weapons to do different moves. I liked the new character, you know what I mean if you play, and his gameplay, which was different. It was definitely the weakest part of the gameplay, but luckily his segments were usually pretty short that it didn't bother me too much. And Dante was fun as hell in this game. Really fun. Probably the fastest and strongest he's ever been in the series. So I liked all that. I also think that the ending is extraordinary. That last hour of this game is absolutely fantastic. Anime style battling and just super fun. I really just, overall, just enjoyed this entire package. It's one of my favorite action games of all time, if I'm being honest. And this might be a little bit controversial, but I'm going to put in a Devil's All We Cry, and I'm going to put it in front of 3 because I just liked it even more than 3. I like 3 a lot, but I think 5 is the peak for Devil May Cry, and I don't know if they can ever reach that again, but I do hope so, and now I am excited for Devil May Cry 6, because if it's as good as this might go down as the best action series of all time for me. But yeah, this is my list. As you see, I really enjoy almost all the Devil May Cries. Even the weakest one is still a good time, just not as good as the others. Whereas Devil May Cry 3 is the only game that is pretty much a poopy cocky shit pile of poo. If you don't know by now, if you're new to my channel, poopy cocky is just something I like to say because it has the word poop in it. I am a child inside a man's body. That also sounds fucking wrong. So what do you guys think? Where would you put the Devil May Cry games? What would be your favorite? What would be the worst that you played? What are your top 3? What are your best 3? Best 3? Bottom 3? You know what I'm saying? There's 6 games, so just put them in the low. Usually I'm like, you don't have to list them all, but it's 6 games. If you didn't play one, though, don't put it in there. But I hope you guys enjoy my list. As always, I love doing these ranking tiers. They're just so fun. I'm a little tired because I already done a few of these and I have to redo them. But I hope you still enjoyed this video. Everybody else, have a great day. If you love me, subscribe to me. If you like these videos, hit that like button, comment below, and have a devilishly good day. You get it? Because devil... Oh, God, I gotta stop with these old man fucking